is Tosh and she is the founder of Divorce Goddess. She has brought about in this area of healing and difficulty and pain, the ability to bring focus of starting over, looking at the positive, finding healthy ways to get yourself from pain to healed. We are so glad to have her in this space, and I am so excited to have her here today. So welcome, Tosh. Thank you for coming today.
It's just lovely to be here. I can't say how much I enjoy talking to you. I loved interviewing you for the podcast, and I'm just so happy to be here.
Let me just start out by saying, tell us about the work that you're doing and tell us what brought you to it.
So a few years ago, I was sitting at my table with only a few quid in my bank account, literally, and I had two small children going through a divorce, and my parents had been through a divorce and hadn't really got on very well and still don't. I was just sitting there going, oh my God, what can I do? And I was so full of fear, going through a divorce, pretty much in bankruptcy, just going, what am I going to do? And I just thought, I'm going to start writing. So I started writing a blog about doing it differently. And I just thought, I'm going to do this whole divorce thing differently. Didn't know how I was going to do it until I was talking to some friends one day, and they said, yeah, you got to go after him, got to go and get everything you know. And I just thought, I don't want a war. I'm not going to go into battle, because what I felt in my body was this massive rock of fear of the thought of going into battle. And I just thought, do you know what? I'm quite stubborn. I just thought, you know what? I'm not going to give you what you want. Nobody. And I just kind of went away, and I just thought, I'm just going to emotionally start learning to flatline, look at this as a project, and get me and my children and my ex, because we've all got to carry on living our lives through this in a kinder, or the kindest way possible. I didn't know how I was going to do it, but I just thought, I cannot live with the stress and the anger and all the money that could be thrown, which we didn't really have anymore, fighting this. And I just thought, I'm going to do it a different way. And as a result, I do lots of work with women and men to help them take their minds off their exes, to emotionally heal themselves, because we can't control how somebody talks, speaks and thinks about us, but we have absolutely every choice about how we think, how we speak and how we act. And I really focus on, you as a whole, not on the other person at all. And it's about rebuilding, nurturing, nourishing you. And Byron Katie talks about your backyard, and I talk about coming back to your backyard a lot when people are kind of in their ex's backyard or the backyard of the ex's new partner. Your divorce is about you, not your ex. And that is my really big thing. And I'm really, as you can tell, really passionate about it, because actually at the end of the day, you have to live with yourself, for the rest of your life. Just tell them they're enough, and they're going to get through it, and they're going to be okay, and that they have the power within them to do this, even if they might not feel it, and they feel ground down, and they feel like the whole, they just feel like, they're not enough. They are. And, along the way, to help people heal themselves as well. And it's not me healing you, it's actually giving people that, like you and your work, you give people the, the choice that there is another way, you can do it. That self-belief, that choice.
Right. Yeah. So there's a lot of things that we can rethink and a lot of choices that we have along the way.
Yeah.
So what do you think the greatest challenge, the landscape of love and relationships? So we focus here a lot on rethinking how we approach love. What do you think the greatest challenge is to finding a healthy match?
Okay, so I was given these questions. I'm just going to put it out there. So I think for me, in today's culture, and I wrote this down, it's all about honesty and accountability, and it's about commitment as well. And I've been in the dating field, and what I have learned, particularly through lockdown and this sort of, social distancing, is it's almost exacerbated and made everything worse. So people can hide more. They can really be who they're not, or, pretend to be who they're not. They can not commit. They don't have to show up anymore, even less than they did before. And I just feel like this is the challenge. We've got to stop thinking about everybody else back there and come back to ourselves. So the biggest challenge is to let go of whatever is going on out there and just trust that if we look after ourselves, we're going to attract the right person in.
That's healthy. I can see the progression there between not trying to change the world, but actually just trying to let yourself be healed and changed. And
Yeah.
that probably is a great obstacle to people ever being able to find someone that they could trust, because you have to be able to know and trust yourself and know your worth.
And we can't do it all on our own. That's the other thing, you know, and you have to be brave. Part of the healing process in anything, and I'm sure you'll agree, Kimmy, is actually asking for help. And I was so bad at asking for help. Asking for help. It's okay to be vulnerable.
It's actually quite attractive.
It's amazing.
The older you get, the more you realize it's actually quite an attractive thing
Yeah.
to realize you really don't have it all figured out.
And people love it when you ask them for help. It's like everybody goes, oh, they finally asked for help.
Yeah, and they trust you because they wouldn't ask you.
Please join us next week as Tosh shares one thing that she thinks we should all know about love and relationship before we seek it. Thanks for taking the time to be here. Have a great rest of your day.